Aaron Carter presents Navajo County, Arizona, APN 303-97062, 45.64 acres. Before we get into our video here, we're going to go over a few pictures of the road going into the property. The road is primarily two-track once you leave the paved highway. There are some rough spots along the way, as you can see there. It's certainly not impassable, but be ready for a bumpy ride as you get closer to it. A couple of washes across the property there. And that's the one big juniper tree that's on the property. Aerial view there shows it, mostly flat. This property's not too far from Winslow, Arizona, one of my favorite things about it. We're going to take a quick ground view video, looking from the north and turning east and south. This video is taken on the south side of the property. This is right on that water tank. You can see here it's just a man-made berm that catches water and holds it. I have seen several satellite photos of this area, and that tank does hold water, or did at one time. It certainly did when the satellite went over. Area does have high tension power lines nearby. Another quick look around from our drone here. Once again, mostly flat. You've got some foothills or small mountains in the distance. Some clumps of grass. Good place to go hide. Not a lot of neighbors. All right. Taking a look at our water tank, like I say, it is just a man-made bulldozed water tank. On the left-hand side here, coming around, is a place where it appears that the water has been escaping. So if you plan on using this tank to hold water, I'd recommend getting somebody with a dozer to come in and do a little bit of dirt work. The water's been escaping out there, going into a wash on the property that we'll see in a minute. Go into our Google Earth view here. As you can see, we're on the Arizona-New Mexico line, working in eastern Arizona here. There's Flagstaff to the east and Albuquerque to the right, and we're almost in the middle. We're going to start zooming in, and I'm going to stop the zoom here in just a second once we get close enough. There we go. And something that I really love about this property is it's not very far from Winslow, Arizona, and being somebody that grew up down on the coast, the thought of standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona is just really cool to me. So had to point that out. As the crow flies, you're about 50 miles from there. The true landmark here, the town that you would start from, is Snowflake, Arizona. Not exactly a big city, but not a small town either. And we'll get into the route of how all the roads work out here in just a minute. Pretty simple to get here. There's our property, all 45.5 acres. Pretty good sized property. We'll zoom in a little bit here. You can see there's that tank there on the south side of the property, man-made tank. And there's that wash that the water has been escaping out of. There is a fence across the northern side of the property. It's actually inside the property line. So property comes with a free fence. All right. On the north border of the property, you've got Miller Trail. There's a turnoff there that goes into the tank. Over to the east is Chippewa Trail, which is the road that you actually take to get to the property. And there is a path in between them. It's a rough two-track, but it's there and it is passable. I would recommend a truck, but it'll get there. Now we're going to follow Chippewa Trail here and get back to the blacktop on Old Woodruff Road. We're going to drop our little man here and take a look at that turn for you. If you decide to go visit the property, that's going to be the turn you're looking for. You'll go from heading north on Old Woodruff to heading east on Chippewa. Let's get out of street view. Zoom out a little bit. As you can see, there are neighbors in the area. There are people that live here, but not too terribly close. And this road all the way down, all the way back to Snowflake, is Old Woodruff Road. And that goes, like I say, all the way into Snowflake. Super easy to get to. All right, let's lay this property on its side. not a lot of topography. The property does slope a little bit, that's why you have the runoff there. You do have the hills or mountains in the distance. But for the most part, it's completely flat. I say completely flat, you can see the lines there. It does slope, but it is rather flat. There is that washout, those mountains in the distance. All right. Let's slide in here on Google Earth. There's the main wash that goes through the property. On some maps, that actually shows to be a creek. Over here to your left is the remnants of a structure. There's a little bit left there. Some of it's been hauled off for scrap, some of it's still left. And there's our water tank. And that's where it's been running out. Like I say, if you want to use this for a water tank in the future, just get somebody with a dozer to come in and do a little dirt work for you. Really easy to capture water there and hold it for cattle or livestock of any sort. I want to thank everybody for joining me on this little trip here into Arizona. It's always fun to show things off. You can find out more about this property on TerraCarta.com, Facebook, Terra Carta. Email us contact@terracarta.com, or you can reach us by phone at 888-276-2214.